The night was calm. The city lights blinked like tired stars. Cars passed sometimes, but the streets were quiet now. A man walked home with his little daughter. His name was Daniel. He worked long hours in a repair shop, and his daughter Emma always waited for him outside. Tonight she had walked with him because she loved the way the night felt. Emma held her father's hand, swinging it happily. She talked about school, about her favorite storybook, about how she wanted to see the stars from space one day. Daniel smiled and listened, though his face was tired. He loved these moments. The world felt normal, simple, safe. But safety ended that night. As they passed an old alley filled with broken machines and trash, Emma stopped. Her hand pulled her father's arm. "Dad," she whispered. "Look, something is there." Daniel frowned. He followed her gaze. In the shadow of a half-broken street lamp, something glowed faintly. It was not the glow of plastic or glass, it was alive. A soft blue light shimmered from the corner, hiding in the dark. Daniel's heart jumped. He stepped in front of his daughter. "Stay behind me, Emma." Slowly they walked closer. The sound of weak breathing echoed in the alley. A small figure crouched between old crates. Daniel could see it now. It was a child, but not human. Her skin glowed pale blue like moonlight on water. Her eyes were large and silver, filled with fear. She was trembling, holding her chest as if every breath hurt. Emma gasped. She's a little girl." Daniel froze. His mind raced. He had heard rumors. The Galactic Patrol, the Watchers of the Universe, had strict laws. No human was allowed to hide or help an alien. Anyone who broke that law was punished severely. He wanted to walk away. He wanted to protect his daughter, keep her safe. But Emma let go of his hand and stepped closer. "Wait!" Daniel whispered sharply, trying to stop her. But Emma knelt in front of the glowing child. "It's okay. Don't be scared," she said softly, like talking to a lost puppy. The alien girl looked at Emma with wide, frightened eyes. She tried to speak, but her words were broken. Strange sounds, almost like music. She coughed, clutching her chest. Daniel's heart ached. He saw it clearly now. Her breathing was weak. Earth's air was hurting her. Without help, she would die. Emma looked up at her father, her eyes filled with tears. "Dad, can she stay with us?" "Please?" Daniel shook his head. "Emma, you don't understand. She's not from here. If anyone finds out, but she's just a child." Emma's voice cracked. "She's scared. She needs us. Please, Dad, please don't let her die." The alien girl reached out her small, glowing hand. Her fingers touched Emma's wrist, and for a moment, Daniel saw something strange. Emma's face lit up with a soft glow, as if the girl's energy connected with her. Emma smiled gently, holding the alien's hand like it was natural. Daniel's chest tightened. This was wrong. This was dangerous. But it was also human. His daughter's heart was pure. She didn't see danger, laws, or punishment. She only saw another child who needed help. The alien's breathing grew weaker. Her silver eyes began to close. Daniel cursed under his breath. He was a father before anything else, and he couldn't let a child die in front of his daughter's eyes. He made his choice. Daniel lifted the alien girl carefully into his arms. She was lighter than air, trembling against him. Her glowing skin pulsed weakly. Emma's face lit up with relief. She smiled and whispered, "Thank you, Dad." Daniel didn't answer. His heart pounded. He knew the risk. If the patrol discovered this, his life and Emma's life would change forever. As they walked quickly back home, Daniel glanced at the sky. He thought he saw a distant ship moving among the stars, scanning, searching. A cold chill ran down his spine. He pulled Emma closer with his free hand and whispered, "We must keep her secret. No one can know. Do you understand?" Emma nodded fiercely. "I promise, Dad." The alien child coughed again, her body glowing dimly. Daniel could feel her warmth fading, and he knew he didn't have much time. He had to find a way to help her breathe. He had to do something before it was too late. At that moment, Daniel didn't know that his choice had just broken a law older than Earth itself. He didn't know that somewhere in the galaxy, alarms had already been triggered. The patrol would come, and when they did, they would not forgive. But for now, there were only 3 of them. A tired man, his brave little daughter, and a fragile alien girl who just wanted to live. And in Emma's innocent voice came the words that would change everything. "Dad, can she stay with us forever?" The door of Daniel's house opened slowly. The night air followed him inside as he carried the glowing child in his arms. Emma rushed ahead, switching on a small lamp in the living room. The warm light filled the space, but Daniel's hands shook. He had never imagined something like this in his life. He laid the alien girl on the couch. Her chest rose and fell in painful rhythm. Every breath sounded like a struggle. Her skin flickered with weak light like a candle about to go out. Emma knelt beside her. "She's so cold, Dad. Do something." Daniel rubbed his face. He was no doctor. He was only a repairman. He fixed machines, not lives. But he had no choice. If he did nothing, the child would not survive the night. He looked around his home. Tools were scattered on the table from his last repair job. Wires, batteries, small oxygen tanks he sometimes used for welding. His mind raced. Maybe he could build something to help her breathe. He hurried to the storage room, grabbing whatever he could. Emma stayed beside the alien girl, holding her small glowing hand. "Don't leave us, please," she whispered softly. "You're safe here." The alien's silver eyes opened for a second. She looked at Emma, confused, but her lips curved into the smallest smile before another cough shook her body. Daniel returned with equipment. He pulled an old mask from a box once used for construction sites. It was too big for her small face, but maybe he could reshape it. He worked quickly, his hands moving faster than his thoughts. Emma watched, wide-eyed. "Can you really fix her, Dad?" Daniel didn't look up. "I don't know, but I have to try." He cut wires, attached a small filter, and connected a tank with careful precision. Sweat dripped down his forehead. Each second felt heavy. He had built machines all his life, but never something like this. This wasn't about fixing metal. This was about saving a child. Finally, he placed the mask gently on the alien girl's face. The filter hissed. A soft hum filled the room. The girl's chest rose. Slowly at first, then smoother. Stronger. The glowing in her skin brightened. Her silver eyes opened wider. She breathed. Emma clapped her hands, tears rolling down her cheeks. "She's okay. Dad, you saved her." Daniel exhaled, his body sinking into the chair. Relief washed over him, but fear quickly followed. He stared at the small breathing device he had built. If anyone saw it, they would know immediately it wasn't for a human. If the patrol found out, they would come knocking. The alien girl whispered something. Her voice was soft, almost musical, though broken. Daniel leaned closer. "What did she say?" Emma asked. Daniel shook his head. I don't know. But I think she's thanking us." The girl touched Emma's hair gently. Her hand glowed faintly, leaving a shimmer like starlight on Emma's skin. Emma giggled. "See? She likes me." Daniel stood and closed all the curtains. He locked the doors. His heart beat faster with every sound outside. A passing car. A dog barking. To him, everything felt like a threat now. Emma noticed his worry. "No one will know, right, Dad?" Daniel hesitated. "As long as we are careful." But even as he said it, he knew the danger was real. The patrol had eyes everywhere. Satellites, drones, informants. If someone noticed strange light from his windows or heard unusual noises, it would be over. Hours passed. The girl slept peacefully with the mask on, her glow steady now. Emma refused to leave her side. She even brought her favorite blanket and covered the girl carefully. Daniel watched them from the kitchen. His daughter's small hand resting in the alien's glowing one. It was a picture of innocence. He felt proud and terrified at the same time. His phone buzzed. A news alert flashed on the screen. Unidentified life form detected in Sector 9. Galactic Patrol warns citizens not to interfere. Sector 9. That was here. His town. Daniel's blood ran cold. They were already searching. He turned off the phone quickly, not wanting Emma to see. She was smiling, whispering little stories to the alien girl as if nothing else mattered. To her, this was not an alien. This was just a lonely child who needed love. Daniel leaned against the wall, staring at them. He thought of his wife, who had passed years ago. She had always said Emma had the biggest heart. Now that heart had brought danger into their home, but it had also brought something else. Hope. The alien girl stirred in her sleep, mumbling a strange word again. Daniel didn't understand it, but Emma repeated it softly, like a secret promise. And for the first time, Daniel realized he was no longer just protecting his daughter. He was protecting two children now. One human, one alien, both his responsibility. As midnight came, Daniel sat by the window watching the sky. He saw faint lights moving, ships scanning the ground. His fists tightened. If they came here, if they found her, he would have to make a choice. Behind him, Emma whispered as she held the girl's hand. "Dad, can she stay with us forever?" Daniel closed his eyes. He didn't answer. Not yet, but in his heart the answer had already begun to form. The morning sun slipped through the curtains, painting golden lines on the living room floor. Daniel sat on the edge of the couch, his eyes heavy from staying awake all night. His hand rested on the strange breathing mask he had built. It worked, but for how long? He wasn't sure. Beside him, the alien child slept peacefully. Her glow had softened, no longer weak but gentle like moonlight. Emma was curled up on the rug, holding the girl's hand tightly as if afraid she might vanish if she let go. For a moment, Daniel let himself breathe. He had survived one night without being caught, but the danger was far from over. The girl stirred. Her silver eyes fluttered open. She blinked, confused, scanning the unfamiliar room. Then her gaze fell on Emma, still asleep. The girl tilted her head, her glowing fingers brushing Emma's cheek gently. Emma woke, rubbing her eyes. When she saw the alien awake, her face lit up. "You're okay," Emma said cheerfully. The girl made a soft sound like a songbird. She touched her chest, then pointed to Emma. "Ma," she whispered in broken voice. Daniel froze. She had said Emma's name. Emma gasped, clapping her hands. "Dad, did you hear? She knows my name." The alien smiled weakly. Her voice trembled, but she tried again. "Emma." Emma laughed with joy. She hugged the girl carefully, wrapping her arms around her glowing shoulders. Daniel wanted to stop her. What if it was dangerous? But he couldn't. The look on both their faces was too pure. For the first time, Daniel saw something different in the alien child. She wasn't just a stranger from the stars. She wasn't just a risk. She was a child, lonely and scared, finding comfort in the only friend she had. Emma pulled back. "What's your name?" she asked gently. The alien tilted her head, trying to form words. Strange sounds spilled from her lips, musical but impossible to understand. She pressed a glowing hand against her chest and repeated it again. Emma tried to copy the sound, stumbling but giggling as she did. The alien laughed too, a soft ringing sound like wind chimes. Daniel felt his heart twist. Even laughter sounded different from her, almost magical. The two girls sat together, repeating words, pointing at things. Emma would say, "Chair," and the alien would mimic it, though clumsy. Emma would say, "Book," and the girl would tap her glowing hand on the object, trying to remember. Daniel watched silently. He had built many machines in his life, but nothing compared to this. Watching two children from different worlds build a bridge of trust with nothing but kindness. But the peace didn't last. The TV in the corner flickered with news. Daniel turned the volume low, but the words made his stomach tighten. Galactic Patrol continues search for unauthorized life form. Citizens are warned, if discovered, report immediately. Harboring will lead to permanent punishment. Permanent punishment. Daniel knew what that meant. Not just for him, but for Emma too. He turned the TV off quickly, but the alien girl had already noticed. Her silver eyes grew wide, filled with fear. She understood more than he expected. Emma hugged her again. "Don't worry. We'll keep you safe." Daniel looked at them and sighed. He wished he had Emma's certainty. But the truth was different. The patrol always found what they were looking for. That night, as Emma slept, Daniel worked again. The breathing mask had helped, but it wasn't enough. It was heavy, clumsy, and the filter wouldn't last long. He needed something better, something stronger. He sketched designs on old papers, smaller, lighter, maybe connected to her body. Artificial lungs, that was the only way. But building something like that was not only dangerous, it was almost impossible. The alien girl walked into the kitchen quietly, her silver eyes curious. She watched Daniel work. Then, to his surprise, she reached out and touched the paper. A faint glow spread across his drawings. Lines shifted, shapes became clearer as if she was helping him redesign. Daniel's breath caught. "You understand this?" The girl looked at him, then nodded faintly. She tapped her chest again and pointed at the design. Daniel realized she was trying to tell him. This could save her. For a long moment, he just stared. The fear in him battled with something else, hope. Emma's sleepy voice broke the silence. See, Dad? She's smart. She's like us. Daniel looked at his daughter, then at the alien girl. He felt the weight of his choice heavier than ever. If he continued, there was no turning back. But when the girl smiled at him, fragile, trusting, he couldn't say no. All right, Daniel whispered. I'll help you. The alien girl touched his hand in return, and for a second, Daniel felt warmth travel through his skin, almost like she was saying thank you without words. That night, a bond was born. Not between human and alien, not between risk and danger, but between a father, his daughter, and the strange child from the stars who now felt like family. And outside in the endless dark sky, unseen machines scanned the earth. The patrol was still searching. The days passed quietly, but the secret grew heavier. Daniel had told Emma again and again, no one can know, not a single person, Emma promised. She promised with all her heart. But children's hearts are brave, and sometimes bravery can lead to mistakes. The alien girl, now a little stronger, stayed close to Emma all the time. She learned faster than Daniel believed possible. She could say small words. Emma, Dad, home. She even laughed when Emma taught her silly songs. But she was still weak. The breathing mask Daniel built never left her side. She carried it like a lifeline, the soft hum of the filter always whispering in the background. Without it, Daniel knew she would collapse again. One morning, Emma surprised her father. She had dressed quickly, put her books in her bag, and stood by the door with the alien girl. Dad? Emma said firmly. She's coming to school with me. Daniel nearly dropped the mug in his hand. What? Absolutely not. It's too dangerous. Emma crossed her arms. She needs friends. She needs to learn more. You said she's smart, school will help her. She is not like the others, Emma, Daniel said, his voice hard. If someone notices, no one will notice, Emma interrupted. Her eyes were fierce. Please, Dad, I'll protect her. I promise, Daniel wanted to shout. He wanted to lock the door and forbid it. But then the alien girl looked at him with her silver eyes wide and hopeful. For the first time, he saw a question in them. Can I belong here? He sighed heavily. One day, only one. And if anything happens, you bring her back immediately. Do you understand? Emma nodded quickly, smiling. She hugged him, then grabbed her friend's hand. And just like that, the secret stepped outside. At school, children filled the playground. Their laughter echoed as they ran, played, and shouted. Emma walked carefully, keeping the alien girl close. Don't be scared, Emma whispered. Just smile. They'll like you. The alien girl wore one of Emma's old jackets, the hood pulled up to hide her glowing skin. The breathing mask hummed softly, but Emma told everyone it was a medical thing. Most children didn't ask questions. At first, everything seemed fine. Emma introduced her as Luna, a name she made up on the spot. Luna smiled shyly, trying to mimic Emma's words. She sat in the classroom, listened to the teacher, and even copied letters on paper with glowing fingertips. The other kids whispered, impressed at how quickly she learned. But secrets never stay hidden for long. During recess, a group of boys tried to test her. Why do you sound funny? One asked. Why do you wear that weird mask? Another teased. Emma stepped forward. Leave her alone. She's my friend. But Luna, trying to fit in, lifted her hood for a moment. The sunlight touched her pale blue skin and her eyes shone like silver mirrors. The playground fell silent. A girl screamed. She's not normal. Children gathered, whispering loudly. Some pointed, others ran to tell teachers. Emma panicked. She grabbed Luna's hand. Come on. They ran inside, hiding in a corner of the library. Luna's breathing grew fast, scared. The mask hummed louder. Emma hugged her. It's okay. I'm here. But the whispers had already spread. By the end of the day, teachers asked questions. Parents waiting outside noticed the strange new student. One mother frowned. That child isn't from here, she whispered to another. Emma pulled Luna back home as fast as she could. Daniel was waiting at the door. His face turned pale the moment he saw their expressions. What happened? He demanded. Emma burst into tears. They saw her, Dad, they know. Daniel closed his eyes. He had feared this. He had warned her. Now it was too late. That night, while Luna slept, Daniel paced the living room. The news played softly on the TV. Reports spoke of possible sightings in local areas. Citizens were urged to stay alert. The patrol was offering rewards for information. Daniel's chest tightened. They were too close. Any neighbor, any teacher, any parent could call the patrol. Emma sat on the couch wiping her tears. "I'm sorry, Dad, I just wanted her to feel normal." Daniel knelt beside her. His voice was softer now. "I know, sweetheart. But the world isn't ready for her." "Not yet," Emma sniffled. "She's not dangerous." "Why can't they see that?" Daniel looked at Luna sleeping peacefully, her glow faint under the blanket. He had no answer. Laws weren't built on kindness. They were built on fear. He rubbed his forehead. "We'll have to be more careful. No more school, no more outside." Emma nodded sadly. But in her heart, she knew it wouldn't be that easy, because someone had already seen too much. In the house across the street, a neighbor peered through blinds. She had seen Emma walking home with the strange child, the glow under the hood, the mask that hummed unnaturally. Her hand trembled as she picked up the phone. The patrol hotline rang, and somewhere above the clouds, a ship received her report. The night was colder than usual. Clouds hid the stars, and the streets outside Daniel's house were silent. But inside, no one slept. Daniel sat by the window, his eyes sharp, scanning every car that passed. Emma lay curled on the couch beside Luna, who breathed softly through her mask. The house was dark except for one lamp, its light weak and trembling like Daniel's nerves. He had felt it all day, the change in the air. The patrol was close, too close. Suddenly, a low hum filled the night. Daniel froze. It wasn't a car. It wasn't a plane. It was heavier, stranger, like metal wings cutting through the air. Emma sat up. "Dad, what's that sound?" Daniel's chest tightened. He pulled the curtain slightly. Above the street, shadows moved, ships sleek and silent scanning the houses. Blue lights flickered across rooftops, searching. "They're here," Daniel whispered. Emma clutched Luna's hand. The alien girl's silver eyes widened. She understood. Her glow dimmed as if she was trying to hide her light. Daniel acted fast. He rushed to the storage room, pulling open a panel on the floor. Beneath it, he had built a small hiding place, his last protection. "Quickly! Both of you inside." Emma shook her head. "But Dad, no arguing." Daniel snapped, his voice breaking. "Go now!" Emma pulled Luna into the hidden space. Daniel lowered the wooden panel, covering it with a rug. He sat back just as the sound outside grew louder. A knock thundered on the door. "Open!" a metallic voice commanded. Daniel's heart pounded. He stood slowly, his legs heavy. He opened the door. 3 figures stood outside. Tall, armored, their suits glowing with blue lines. Their helmets reflected the dim streetlights. Each carried a scanner that pulsed with strange energy. Behind them, a black ship floated silently above the ground. "Citizen," one of them said, "we are conducting a search. An unauthorized life form has been reported in this area. Do you allow entry?" Daniel's throat felt dry. He wanted to slam the door, to shout no, but that would mean immediate suspicion. He forced a nod. "Of course. Come in." The patrol stepped inside, their boots heavy against the floor. Their scanners beeped softly, waving across the room. Blue light crawled over the walls, over Daniel's tools, over the couch where Emma had sat. One patrol officer turned sharply. "You live alone?" Daniel forced his voice steady. "With my daughter. She's asleep." "Show us," the officer demanded. Daniel led them to Emma's room. She lay in bed, eyes closed, pretending to sleep. Daniel prayed she would not tremble, prayed she would not cry. The patrol officer scanned her, then turned away. "Human," he confirmed. Relief touched Daniel for a second. But then the scanner in the living room beeped loudly. Another officer raised his helmet. "Unidentified trace detected." Daniel's stomach twisted. His mask invention, had it leaked something? The officers moved quickly. They scanned the air, the floor, the corners. The beeping grew stronger as they stepped near the storage room. Daniel's heart nearly stopped. "Here," one officer said, pointing at the rug. Daniel stepped forward quickly, blocking the path. "That's just storage, old junk. Broken machines," the officer tilted his head. "Move." Daniel swallowed hard. His hands shook. He needed a distraction, anything. His mind raced. Then outside, a dog barked wildly. A neighbor's door opened. Curious eyes peeked out. The patrol turned for a moment, scanning the street. Daniel acted fast. He kicked the rug aside and opened the panel himself. The officers raised their weapons, only to see a pile of rusted scrap, old wires, and useless parts Daniel had hidden above the real chamber. He forced a laugh. "See, junk, I told you." The officers lowered their scanners slowly. The beeping stopped. They stared at Daniel for a long moment, as if measuring his truth. Finally, one said, "Be warned. If you hide what does not belong here, punishment will be permanent." Daniel nodded quickly. "I understand." Without another word, the patrol left. The ship above lifted silently, vanishing into the night. Daniel closed the door with shaking hands. His whole body felt weak. He dropped to his knees, breathing hard. Emma crawled out of the hidden space, pulling Luna with her. Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Dad, they almost found her." Luna clung to Emma, trembling, her silver eyes filled with fear but also with trust. She looked at Daniel as if asking silently, "Will you still protect me?" Daniel pulled both girls close. His voice was rough but certain. "Yes, no matter what happens, I'll keep you safe." Emma hugged him tighter. Luna's glow flickered softly against his chest, warm and fragile. But in the sky above, more ships moved. The patrol wasn't done. They would return. And next time, Daniel knew it would be harder to hide. The house felt different after the patrol left. The silence was heavier, pressing down on Daniel's chest like iron. Every corner, every shadow felt dangerous now. He had fooled them once, but he knew he couldn't fool them again. Emma stayed close to Luna all evening, refusing to let go of her hand. Luna's silver eyes kept drifting to the window, as if she sensed the sky above was watching her. The breathing mask hummed softly, steady but fragile. Daniel sat at the table, his tools spread before him. He stared at the sketches of artificial lungs. The design was bold, risky, almost impossible, but it was the only chance. If Luna had her own system, something that could let her breathe Earth's air without that noisy mask, maybe she could survive without drawing attention. Emma leaned against him. "Dad, can you finish it? Can you really make it for her?" Daniel rubbed his tired eyes. "I can try. But if I do, it means taking a risk." "Big risk," Emma's voice cracked. "She's worth it." Daniel looked at Luna. She was smiling faintly as Emma showed her a picture book. She touched the pictures with glowing fingers, whispering broken words as she tried to copy them. A child learning, just like any other. Daniel's heart tightened. "Yes," he whispered. "She is." The next day, Daniel didn't go to work. He stayed home, working furiously on the artificial lungs. He melted metal, carved small chambers, connected filters to tiny power cells. The air smelled of burning wires. His hands shook from exhaustion, but he kept going. Luna watched him, sometimes leaning closer. She touched the device gently, and Daniel swore he saw the circuits glow brighter, as if her strange energy was helping. Hours turned into night. Finally, Daniel held a small silver piece in his hands, 2 artificial lungs compact and glowing faintly. It was crude, not perfect, but it might work, Emma whispered. "It's beautiful." Daniel wasn't sure. He had built machines before, but this wasn't just metal. This was life. If it failed, he could kill her. He looked at Luna. "Do you trust me?" The alien girl nodded slowly. She pressed her glowing hand against his chest, right over his heart. Silver light pulsed softly. Daniel swallowed hard. He knew the answer. Yes, she trusted him. The operation was simple in design, but dangerous in practice. He attached the device near her chest, connecting it carefully with straps and wires. The mask hissed as he removed it slowly, letting the new lungs activate. For a terrifying second, Luna gasped. Her skin flickered weakly, her eyes wide with panic. Emma cried out, "Dad, it's not working." Daniel's hands shook. "Come on, breathe. Breathe." Then suddenly Luna inhaled deeply. The device glowed. Her chest rose, steady and strong. The mask lay silent on the floor. She was breathing on her own. Emma screamed with joy. "She's alive." "Dad, you did it." Luna smiled, her glow brighter than ever. She threw her small arms around Daniel, hugging him tightly. For the first time, Daniel let himself smile fully. But the moment of peace didn't last. That night, the patrol returned. The sound of engines filled the sky. Lights swept the streets. This time, there were more ships, more soldiers. The entire neighborhood glowed blue as scanners probed each house. Daniel froze. They had come back faster than he expected. Someone must have reported again. Maybe the neighbor. Maybe the school. It didn't matter now. The knock came, louder, harsher than before. "Citizen, open immediately." Daniel's stomach dropped. He turned to Emma and Luna. His voice was sharp, urgent. "Go hide now." Emma shook her head. "Dad, come with us." "I can't. If I don't open the door, they'll break it down. You hide and you stay quiet, no matter what happens." Tears filled Emma's eyes. "But, no buts," Daniel snapped. Then his voice softened. "You're my daughter. I promise to protect you, both of you. Now go." Emma grabbed Luna's hand, pulling her into the hidden chamber. The panel closed just as the door burst open. The patrol stormed inside. Their scanners flashed wildly. One officer raised his weapon. "The trace is stronger now. She is here." Daniel stood tall, blocking their path. His voice was steady. "There's no one here but me. Move aside." "No." The officer stepped closer, weapons humming. Daniel's heart pounded, but he did not move. He thought of Emma. He thought of Luna. He thought of his wife gone too soon, and the promise he had made to protect his daughter. If sacrifice was needed, he would give it. One officer pressed his scanner to Daniel's chest. It beeped, detecting nothing. Frustrated, the officer shoved him aside and began scanning the room. Daniel grabbed the officer's arm. "Leave, now, you won't find anything here." The officer turned his helmet slowly. "If you are hiding her, you will die." Daniel met the dark reflection of his own face in the helmet. "Then I die, but you will not touch my family." For a moment, the room was frozen in silence. Then the scanners flickered, confused by interference. The artificial lungs were masking Luna's signals. They didn't realize it. Finally, the leader of the patrol growled, "We will return, and if we find you lying, your punishment will be permanent." They stormed out. The ship lifted into the night sky once more. Daniel fell to his knees, shaking with relief. He opened the panel. Emma and Luna crawled out, their faces pale with fear. Emma threw herself into his arms. "Dad, I thought they would take you." Luna hugged them both, her silver glow wrapping them in light. Daniel closed his eyes. He had risked everything, but they were still together. Yet deep inside he knew the patrol would not give up. The next time he might not be enough, and the sacrifice he feared most was still waiting. The night after the second patrol search, Daniel barely slept. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw blue scanners, metal helmets, weapons pointed at his chest. He had stood against them once, but he knew the storm wasn't over. Emma lay curled beside Luna, their small hands still holding on to each other even in sleep. Luna's glow was soft and steady now, the artificial lungs working quietly under her jacket. For the first time since finding her, she was breathing freely. Daniel sat in the dark, staring at the sketches scattered across the table. He had done what no one else dared. He had built something the patrol would call forbidden. Not just a device, not just a machine, a second chance at life. But in the morning, his fear became real. The news filled the screen with flashing warnings. Galactic Patrol intensifies hunt. New orders. The unauthorized life form must be captured within 48 hours. All households will be searched again. Resistance will mean execution. Daniel turned off the TV quickly, but not before Emma saw. Her face went pale. "They're coming back," she whispered. Daniel nodded. "Yes, and next time they won't leave until they find her." Emma clutched Luna protectively. "Then we run. We can hide somewhere far away." Daniel shook his head. "They'll find us no matter where we go. Their ships cover the sky. Running will only make them chase us harder." "Then what do we do?" Emma's voice broke. Daniel looked at both girls. His daughter, human and fragile, and Luna, alien and glowing but just as innocent. They had become sisters in every way that mattered. He could not lose either of them. He closed his eyes. He knew what he had to do. That night the patrol returned. The ships descended over the neighborhood like thunderclouds. Lights swept across rooftops, breaking windows with their beams. Every house was scanned. Every family forced outside. Daniel heard the engines before they reached his street. He stood quickly, pulling Emma and Luna close. His voice shook but remained firm. "Listen to me. Whatever happens, you stay hidden. Do not come out. No matter what." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Dad, please, promise me, Emma." Emma nodded weakly. "I promise." He kissed her forehead, then helped both girls into the hidden chamber. The panel closed, leaving him alone in the room. A heavy crash shook the door. Then it burst open. The patrol stormed inside, more soldiers than before. Their scanners lit up wildly. The leader stepped forward. His helmet gleamed coldly. We know she is here. Where is the life form? Daniel stood tall, his hands clenched. There is no one here but me. Lies. The officer raised a weapon. Do not test us, human. Give her up and your daughter will be spared. Daniel's blood ran cold. They knew about Emma. Somehow they had found her records. His greatest fear, his daughter, was now part of their threat. He took a deep breath. You will not touch my daughter. You will not take the child. The officer's weapon hummed louder. Then you choose death. Daniel's heart raced. He thought of Emma's eyes full of love. He thought of Luna's small glowing hand pressed against his. He thought of his wife's voice telling him long ago, protect her. Always protect her, and so he made his choice. He stepped forward, spreading his arms wide. If you want them, you'll have to go through me. The patrol hesitated for a moment, surprised at his defiance. Then scanners blared again, picking up faint traces. The artificial lungs were working, but not perfectly. The officer raised his hand. Search everything. Tear the house apart. Daniel moved quickly. He grabbed one of his old machines from the table, an unfinished device that sparked dangerously. He slammed it against the floor. Electricity burst in a bright flash, filling the room with smoke. The patrol shouted, scanners blinded. In the chaos, Daniel ran to block the hidden panel with his own body. The leader's weapon pointed straight at him. Step aside, human. Daniel shook his head. No, she stays with us. She is my family now. The officer's finger tightened on the trigger, but before he could fire, something happened. The panel behind Daniel glowed. Luna pushed it open, her silver eyes shining fiercely. She stepped out, no longer weak, no longer afraid. The artificial lungs pulsed brightly, filling her body with strength. She raised her glowing hands. A wave of soft light spread through the room, not violent, not sharp, gentle like warmth wrapping every corner. The patrol froze, their weapons trembling. For the first time, hesitation flickered in their stance. Emma rushed to Luna's side, holding her hand. She's not a danger. She's a child, my sister. Daniel's voice roared through the smoke. Look at her. She is not your enemy. She is ours now. She belongs here. The patrol scanners went silent. The light faded slowly, leaving only the sound of Luna's steady breathing. The leader lowered his weapon. For a long, tense moment, no one moved. Then he turned to his soldiers. Withdraw. Shock filled Daniel's chest. He didn't know why they stopped, whether it was mercy or confusion or fear of something greater. But it didn't matter. They left. The ships lifted into the night sky. Silence returned. Emma hugged Luna tightly, tears streaming down her face. Daniel pulled them both into his arms. His voice cracked, but it was steady with truth. Yes, she stays with us. Forever. From that night forward, nothing would ever be the same. The patrol might come again, or maybe not. But one thing was certain. A human father had broken the oldest law of the galaxy. Not out of greed, not out of power, but out of love. And sometimes love was stronger than law.